Well, Captain Ibrahim Traore, president of Burkina Faso, never ceases to amaze us on a daily basis. He is doing a miracle. Now, the colonial era wigs in which judges have long been symbols of foreign influence in African legal systems. Now, Burkina Faso joins also other African nations on the continent in discarding such colonial relics in favor of indigenous traditions. Now, this decision, of course, underscores a growing trend in across Africa. I wouldn't say really that big, but there are countries who have done it. So, where countries are revisiting their colonial legacies and opt for systems that resonate more with them, their people, their tradition, and it's also a symbolic step that speaks to a larger cultural renaissance sweeping of the continent. Now, this is just to show you always my receipts, how my analysis has started from reading the news. So as you can see here, it is, Burkina Faso's president, he has officially prohibited judges from wearing British and French colonial era wigs. Okay, now this is really a big step, and this is, Ibrahim Traore's action now, this move does not make it something really new, because we have seen in the past also he has adopted traditional attire of Burkina Faso to be a school uniform of children, which they will help them to love more themselves and to appreciate locally made products, different from most of African nation is built in, loving everything that is foreign and glittering, adopting the way the European type of uniforms, if you go, for example, in South Africa and other African countries. So this is not new. So for him to ban or prohibiting this wigs and gowns of judges is something that is in line with what he's doing, coming back to the indigenous knowledge and the tradition, and loving that is what is locally made, and having a control of the natural resources of Burkina Faso. It goes all with what he is embarked on in the country ever since he came to power. Now, continuing, this also marks, a significant cultural shift, symbolizing a broader effort to reclaim and celebrate indigenous values across the continent. Okay, that is as far as what I can say. But now, bringing you this news and trying to go deeper in it, it made me, to question actually, in which it's going to take much of the part of the video, this video, is that it made me to question, it has been more than 50 years since African countries have got their independence, and or the British or the French, since they have left the continent, physically at least. You can argue with me that neocolonialism is still there, but they have left physically. So why are so many African judges still wearing wigs? And in fact, you even find our own people justifying this, saying that this goes beyond just being British, or beyond colonialism. So I ask myself why African judges still are rocking British wigs after 50 years of independence. And, so I came up to shed a light with you, just to give you a quick historical background, and then how it came to Africa, the contradiction that's arising from this, the emotional part of it, and then of course you see what it demonstrates, what it means by us still wearing it. And then, I leave you also with some questions in which you can share in the comment section. So these are the things I wanted to look at. But a quick thing, in Africa, still those who used to be colonized by Britain, countries like Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and also with countries who used to be colonized by France, which are like Burkina Faso, Cameroon, and others are still using this. Some of them, they have abandoned it, but much of them still are wearing it. Even those countries in which their leaders are claiming to be more Pan-African, who have made drastic measures to really cut that colonialism tie, or those remnants of colonialism, still you see them not abandoning these hats or these wigs from their courtroom. So now I ask this, and let me just give you, okay, so I listed out from what perspective I am going to look at. So historically, this is what I can say. Look, as everything else has been looted, including knowledge, these wigs actually belong to the ancient, what we call it Egypt, but the Kemet people, what is called now Egypt in Africa. So, but thanks to colonization, just like they have looted the knowledge and make it, appropriated it as if it is theirs, and become all civilizations come from Greeks. The fact is that it's taken from the Kemet people, from the Moors, which all are African people, okay, black people, if you want me to be even more radical. So the Europeans have taken it. And how did they start to wear it? They start to wear it, in Europe. It was, I think, before, was this the 14th century or 15th century? There was this disease called the syphilis. It is it balds the head. It takes the hair from the people. So what they started to do is they started, King Charles II in the 16th century have adopted it, and people started to wear these wigs. It's even much longer than what you see it now in the court rooms. So the British judiciary system also followed that and started, to have to make courts in the courtroom, judges and lawyers to wear it. Now, because of colonialism, then it came to Africa, and even after the British have left, and let me just plug my laptop because the battery is going to die. But yeah, so if so yeah, sorry about that small technical issue, but I am glad that you get to witness everything. So now, because of colonialism, it came to Africa. Even after they have left physically, still you see our judges and lawyers wearing it. And this is really where the irony of it is that this is not something that has been made to for Africa's weather. It's very hot, and in that heat, you see judges wearing it and lawyers. And I would like to share with you, with that regard, what from a Nigerian, this man called Chioma Onini have said, let me see, look, this is what he said, quote, I have never seen a more pitiable sight than that of a learned Nigerian lawyer sweating profusely under the sweltering heat while clad in the outdated wig and gown. Nothing more ridiculous. Quote closed. This is what he said. And yeah, it's true. It's very, very, I don't know how they see it. It's not even that, it's not made for us, but it's still, they continue championing this. Now, let me give you the contradiction part. As I said, it's contradicting because lawyers in Africa, they are referred as learned. So even when we say that we are learned, when lawyers are learned, and still they continue to own that, they refuse to detach themselves from that wig, even after knowing that this is that came from colonialism, and they have to detach themselves from it. And the irony, the most ironical part of it, is that even those who brought it in Britain, for example, they have started to already to drop it, and but still we are our courtrooms are still rocking it, despite it's unsuitable at all for our weather. They are still wearing the wigs, they are still wearing the robes. Okay, now you see, but the thing is that I always say we have always have taken a part in our demise. Okay, we always have been an accomplice, even when they assassinate our pan-African leaders, even when they loot our minerals. In everything we are pointing our fingers to those colonial powers or the Westerners. Trust me, equally Africans are responsible. Without our own governments enabling that, creating that environment for them to do so, they would not have continued to do so. So now this is a Kenyan lawyer who said this, and then I quote, I don't feel at all it has, meaning the wig, has negative connotation colonialism. It has risen beyond that. It's a tradition of the Kenya bar. There you go. This is what you get. Now, let me go to the third part I want to look at in answering why still African countries, even after 50 years of independence, continue to wear these colonial wigs. Now, emotionally, if you look at it emotionally, beyond being colonial relics, and as Africans also wanting to detach from this. If you look at it emotionally, this is the wig those colonial judges, when they were during that colonialism time period, they were wearing this when they passed these sentences. For example, like sentencing to death more than 1,000 of Kenyans who were part of the Mau Mau movement, and also lynching our people, and others, many that I can mention. People are sentenced to days or to lose their organs or their part of their body just because they opposed colonialism. Okay, and people still, those judges were wearing that colonial. Why do you want to stay to attach yourself with that? Okay, so this is the emotional part. Now, also wearing this means it demonstrates that our love, Africans are loving every time what is glittering, what is foreign, what comes from Europe, from US, is kind of a civilized one, a modern one, quote unquote, and but what is African, what is locally made, is uncivilized or backward. So it really has to do with that a lot. So it's a disrespect of our own local made products, and it's disrespect to ourselves in general. It's a self-hate, wearing that white wig on that black body while you are sweating. Look at this. I want to quote this. This is what Frederick Lord Guard, white man, has written. He has written this, and I quote. I read you from my notebook while I was doing my own research. Before I come to you, the African is very prone to imitate anything new in dress and custom, whether it be the turban and flowing gown of the Muslim, on the straw hat and trouser of the European, however unsuited to his life and condition. Quote closed. Okay. And now still we are rocking it, and you see and hear those kind of Kenyan lawyers telling you, oh, this goes beyond colonialism. It has a tradition of Kenyan bar. Nonsense, and now finally I want to ask you, why do you think, because still there are so many African countries rocking these colonial wigs, so why not using our own attires? What makes us, what is it that stopping us from adopting our own local attires, our own costumes, indigenous made, and supporting thereby our own local products, our own small scale manufacturers, and then abandoning this, like one example is now what Captain Ibrahim Traore has done. What is stopping our governments from doing this? Because this is really good for the country. So why do you think still, another question again, so I leave you again, why are we still rocking these colonial wigs even after 50 years of after 50 years of independence? Let me just leave you there. I don't want to make it longer. Thank you again for tuning in, for all your supports. Let us know in the comment section, please. And if you are from any African country or originally, let us know, if your countries has abandoned this, and what are the views by those who are referred as learned and lawyers. Just hit us, okay? Because this is, some things are as simple as it is. It's also as much as it is simple, it's also complicated. They make it complicated. I don't know why. So I really want to get your view. Yes, Zenobia Indigo, mentally enslaved, definitely. But again, isn't it so simple, really? I really don't know. But hit us in the comment section. Thank you again for all your support, for your presence. It means a lot. Share the video with others. Do not keep knowledge and information only to yourself. Share it within your own network. And of course, if you find it relevant enough, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, support us through our PayPal account, and buy me a coffee link in the description section. You can find that. It's a bye-bye from me for now, and tune in. Next up is I will share, today is the eve of Epiphany in Ethiopia, and I'm going to share a live video to you. It's bye-bye, and see ya.